Good evening, everyone. In this video, I will be introducing you to Bootstrap. We will focus on how to apply CSS styles using built-in classes of Bootstrap. And we will also go through a simple example of using JavaScript with Bootstrap. So this is a website where you get Bootstrap. You can either download it by clicking here under compile the CSS and JavaScript. You can as well copy these links that can help you to use Bootstrap from a CDN, from an online source. You just click here. Then the codes will be copied. So let's create a new file. Which we are going to save in this new folder, which we create on the desktop, Bootstrap. So we save this file in that folder on the desktop. So we save it as example.html. So we open HTML. The title, we give it as Bootstrap. Under body, we provide a div. So within the div, we provide a form. Within the form, we also provide another div. We provide another P. So this div, which has outside the others, is like the main container of other things which are inside, including form, div, paragraph, and so on. So let's say this paragraph has got a title, let's say students a title like this one. Under this div, let's define another div. Like this. Maybe the paragraph, we can put it at the top, not inside the div, to have a logical flow of these two divs. So the first div, we are going to create a label, which we call first name. We can provide the for, if you want to provide the ID for the input, type text, name ID should be the same as this. Can even say required to restrict someone to send this form while this input box is empty. So let's copy this and paste it inside the second div. So here we change the name as hello name for last name. This should be hello name, and the same here. So under the last div, we are going to define a button. So the type for the button is submit. Name, let's call it save. Value save. So we can create another button, maybe using this technique button. Let's call it info. Here we can add something else like submit. We can leave it like that because we are not going to send this data to a database. We can just leave it like this. So we open the browser. So our content that we have provided within this HTML file, they are now displayed on this page like this. Now let's apply Bootstrap to format this content such that the font color, the font size, the alignment, the general look of each and every content will be controlled using Bootstrap. So what is a Bootstrap? Bootstrap is a front-end framework that helps you quickly build a responsive website using pre-designed HTML, CSS, and JavaScript components. So Bootstrap uses classes. So in each HTML element here, not in each, maybe in most of them, we will be adding an additional attribute called class. So a class can have a value like justify content center, which should be applied to the outer div, the one which is containing everything. You can provide a class of form control for an input, form label for a label, btn primary for a button, and so on. So let's now start applying Bootstrap to our initial codes, which are here. You remember we have already copied these codes. Copy to clipboard, we click there, then it is again copied. Where do we paste these copied Bootstrap codes? Here at the top, inside the head. So just right click, paste. So this code is dedicated for CSS, for cascading style sheet. The one below is dedicated for JavaScript. So as you might have seen or observed, in these HTML codes, we don't have any CSS style, we don't have any JavaScript. So we will be getting CSS styles from this link, from an online link, which is called CDN. So the next step is gonna be to apply classes. We can start with the outer div by applying, let's say, a class of, we can say the flex for flexbox layout, justify, say content center. So we want our page to use flexbox. So display flexbox, justify content center, and the alignment will be center. So contents will be aligned on the page using center alignment. For label, for fname, we can add another class, which is from label. This class, we can copy it and paste it to the second label here because they are the same. For input boxes, we can add another class which we call form control, like this. Of course, we copy it and paste it within the second input box for the last name. Here, it is the same as upwards. For the buttons, we add a class which is, you remember, btn primary, button primary. So btn space btn primary. Let this one provide it with another different class, which is btn inf. btn class like this. Then we save and we go back to our page, we refresh. So this is how it is now looking at us. Of course, here you need to have internet because this CDN requires you to be connected such that the CSS styles will be fetched from this file, which is a CSS1, of course, from an online source. We can apply another class for this div. For these divs, we can apply another class. You see how they look like. We can add another class of form. We can say form group. So this class is gonna be applied here. Of course, this one we cut it. We should have applied it to the first div at the top, under body here. So this is the container of other divs. So it should be the one having the display flex. So we refresh again. So this is how it looks like. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to format this title using Bootstrap features, which are available. So this one is inside this paragraph. So under this paragraph, within it, we apply the font size of 1. Font size can go from 1 up to 6. So when we say 1, we are referring it to the largest one, the bigger one. So we start with 6, which is the smallest one. We refresh, nothing. So we apply 4, we refresh. So the font size increases as we apply 4. So let's apply 1 and refresh. The font size now is bigger. What if we wanted to change the color for this title? To apply the color, we can use this text. Then we put the name of the color. Let's say danger. So danger will be red. We refresh. What if we wanted to make it yellow? So we change danger into awning. So this is it. You can change color by simply changing these last words. So we keep it as danger, and we also apply a border. So if you want the text to be inside a border, we just apply the border like this. So the border, we can even provide it with a color such that we add another value, which is border dash. Let's say the border, we apply the blue color. So blue, we use primary. So border primary. This primary means the color of the border. So we refresh. Yeah, this is it. What if we are to apply the font weight? We wanted to make this text bold, to make it somehow highlighted. How do we do it? We simply use font weight dash bold. FW means font weight. So when we refresh, the text should now be somehow highlighted. So what if we are to provide the background color, a yellow one? So background color is represented by BG to mean background color, dash. Let's say the color is yellow. So yellow, you remember we said it is warning. So we refresh. It is now done. What if we want to control the page margins? Let's say we apply the margin at the top of this title. How do we do it? So margin is M, then the top one is T, then dash the value of the margin. Let's apply 3. So MT means margin top. So we refresh. So it is applied. Let's make it maybe 5 to have something which is readable and clear. So like this. This is how we do it. What if we wanted to increase the padding? The padding is a kind of space which is added around the content. Let's say we add the padding around this title. So padding is P. So dash the value. Let's say 4. Then we refresh. So this is it. We have applied the padding of 4, and this is it. So let's create a second example, which we save as example2.html. Within this example, Bootstrap example2, Bootstrap example2. Within this example, we provide another div. Inside, we provide a P. Inside, under P, we provide another div. Under this div, we provide another div. So let's now use MS Word to generate a text on 2 lines. Each line should have each paragraph, a text of 2 paragraphs, and each paragraph should have 8 lines. So this is it. Let's add the text for the first div. We again cut the text for the second paragraph and we paste it inside the second div here. So we open the page in the browser. So our text is like this one. So let's add a title inside the paragraph, and we call it formatting text like this. So what if we copy the class values which we used previously without repeating them? We put them inside this P. Of course, when we refresh, it won't work because Bootstrap is not yet provided, whether from online source or from a local source. So in this example, I'm going to show you how you can add Bootstrap locally. So to do it, you remember the link which you use to get Bootstrap. You go under compile the CSS and JavaScript, then you click on download. So when you download, you will find this zipped folder which you need to unzip. Simply right click, extract it to the name of the folder. So as I have already downloaded it, I can I can, open the folder, then open the folder again. I can find two folders. One is CSS, another is JavaScript. So to be able to use Bootstrap offline, you copy this CSS folder, which should have this file, and you put it inside your folder project. So you copy this, right click, copy CSS folder, you paste it inside inside the file from the desktop. Yeah, here, Bootstrap. So you paste it here. By pasting, we open it. So we locate this file. This one is the one which we need. So we right click the name to copy the name. We go within the head where we put the Bootstrap. So we provide this link tag, which should have the hyperreference. So the hyperreference here is gonna be CSS slash the name of the file dot the type of the file. So if you remember very well, this file is a CSS one. So we provide .css extension. Then we go back to our page. Then we refresh. As we refresh, our title is formatted accordingly. So let's now format this text in 2 paragraphs. Paragraph 1, then paragraph 2. How do we do it? So we go to the first div and we provide the value. Let's say call dash MD for medium dash 6. Of course, this one is inside the class like this, and we're gonna copy it inside the second div here. Let's first refresh. So as we refresh, our text is no longer reaching the end of the page. It is cutting somewhere in the middle. So Bootstrap considers a screen of your device, like the one I'm using currently right now, as having 12 columns. So when you give it like column MD means medium 6, you are telling it to use 6 of 12 columns. So when you use 6, it is like 50% of your screen size from the left to the middle. Then another 6%, another 6 columns is representing the 50 remaining percent. So making the total of 12 columns. So that's why we need to add something here for this div. We need to add class. So this class should be a display flex. It should also display the columns in row, the contents, the paragraphs in rows. So that's why we say flexi row. We can even go take it further by adding justify content justify content center. Can even add align items center like this. So this is how we add classes and their values. Dflex means display flex. It makes this div a flex content or a flex container. This flex row distributes the contents, I mean the paragraphs, along a row, not as columns. Justify content center. This one distributes items with the space between them, and so on and so forth. So we refresh our page. So this is how it is looking like. Of course, there is something which we need to address. The title now is also considered as being part of the 6 first columns. This is a problem which is not too complicated to solve. So we cut this P and we take it outside the div such that it won't be affected anymore. So we are taking it outside this div. So we go back, we refresh. So the title returns at the top and the columns are now displayed in the columns. So what if we wanted to we want this first paragraph to display content up to here, such that the second paragraph will use a small space here or fewer columns. So what we do is to increase the number of columns here, like 9. So 12 minus 9 is 3. So the second column should use 3 remaining columns. So we refresh. So this is it. This is it. Now let's add. You can see the text is reaching the beginning of the page, which is wrong. So we are going to apply margins. So the margin, we apply it at this level here. We can put M for margin, then dash 5. So when we say 5, we are meaning margin at the top, margin at the end, margin start means in the left, and margin like this is gonna be applying this 5 at the top, bottom, left, and the right. So we go back and we refresh. So this is it. What if we wanted to change the background color of this second paragraph as dark and the text color as white? So we go to its div, which is located here. You remember the text color is text, then dash white. So we start with white text color. So white text color does not match with this background, which is white. So white and white, you can't see anything. So to be able to see something here in the second paragraph, we need to apply background color of dark, such that white and dark will make your text visible like this. So what if we wanted to make it further and apply borders for the second, for the first paragraph? We can add border like this. So we refresh. A border is added. Of course, here the second paragraph and the first one, they are somehow they are somehow connected. So let's add a space in between them. We can either add a left margin to the second paragraph, or we add the right margin to the first paragraph, such that there will be a space left between them. So let's use the second option, which is leaving a margin at the end for the first paragraph. So ME means margin end. Margin end means the right margin. So refresh. So the space is coming in. So the next step is going to be using JavaScript. We can create a new file. For the sake of time, we can copy this code and reuse them. This code is gonna be doing this. So when we say link hyperreference, and we have something like bootstrap.min, you remember this is the CSS file which has this extension which should be applied to these bootstrap classes. So div container mt5, so this is margin top 5, then div class, this one will create a button on the page saying this is a success alert, check it out. Then this button will be having another button here which is called show alert with JavaScript. This button has got an ID of show alert. So you remember how to use JavaScript with the ID. So this ID of show alert for this button is gonna be called using this getElementById function. So it is document.getElementById. So ID of the control, in this case it is a button, it is show alert dot add event listener. So this is the one which handles the events in JavaScript. So if the event is click, so this function will be executed. This function, this one. So the function says we create, we declare a constant which is called the alert placeholder, which should have the value document.createElement div. What is inside this div? Then alert placeholder.innerHTML, this. It will add this message if the button is clicked. So this button called show alert with JavaScript. If the event is click, you click it, then it will display on the page this message. This is alert. This alert was added with JavaScript. So after adding this message on the screen, and you click again on the same button, this one, show alert with JavaScript, you click it for the second time, the JavaScript code will append the second message, which is this is alert. This alert was added with JavaScript just next to the first one. That's why we use this function append child. Append child. So whenever we click on the same button, there will be an appended. This alert was added with JavaScript next to it on the next line. So let's save these JavaScript codes as bootstrap.html. Then we save, right click, open in browser. So this is it. The first message which says this is a success alert, check it out. So when we click on show alert with JavaScript button, there should be another message displayed down it, which is this one. So you remember, when we click on the same button for the second time, there will be an additional appended message down here, like this, like this, like this. So this is how you can introduce yourselves to Bootstrap by catering for CSS styles and even JavaScript. Thank you. Bye.